Eddie, great result for you last weekend in the derby. What sort of week have you had following that really positive result?
A good week, good training week. We've enjoyed being back on the grass with the players. First full week in a long time. Hopefully the players have enjoyed it, and yeah, we're ready to go.
Just want to revisit one aspect of Derby Day that seems to have upset some in the red and white corner, and that's the picture that you took on the pitch at full time in front of your supporters. We know that you take pictures after every victory, usually in the dressing room. So why on this occasion did that take place outside on the pitch?
I think I said after the game, I think that was inspired by Jason. I think he's just grabbed Serena over and the picture's been taken on the pitch. So I think it was spontaneous, it wasn't planned. From our perspective, black and white perspective, it's a nice memory, a nice snapshot of a really good moment for us. There's certainly no disrespect intended to Sunderland.
And the win last weekend has taken you into the fourth round, where you've been drawn against another Premier League team in Fulham, away from home. What do you make of the draw?
Yeah, I was watching the draw and seeing that hand go in, and you're thinking, please, because we wanted, you want a home game for obvious reasons, and unfortunately it went against us. So being the last ball out, we knew we had Fulham to play, and that's going to be a tough game for us.
It's going to be a Saturday night match away for the fans in London, and I think the only away fixture domestically you've had this season that hasn't been switched in some way, either the date or the kick-off time, was Luton just before Christmas. So the supporters have had a lot of inconvenience when they just want to watch their team. You must have some sympathy for them, because that's going to be a difficult trip for them. It's going to be very hard to get back from London on a Saturday night. Yeah,
I do have sympathy for them, and I think we're all at the mercy of the TV companies and when they want to schedule games, and I don't think enough consideration is given to the supporters and what they have to do to get to and from the games. Now, to get back from London at that time is going to be incredibly difficult, and my sympathies are with our supporters on that one.
You lost Joe Linton at the start of the second half last weekend. What are the prospects for him over the next couple of weeks following that injury?
The prospects over the next couple of weeks aren't good. It's an injury that will see him certainly miss probably a minimum of 6 weeks. It's a real blow for us, because he's such an important player. He's had a very stop-start season, unfortunately, this year, where he was so consistent last year in his selection. He's had a few different problems, and this is a big blow.
Is anyone coming back who can fill that vacancy, that void in the team?
Well, certainly we have no one immediately coming back, but also we have no one like Joe Linton. So you're never going to get a like-for-like replacement. He is our midfield driving force, really, physically. We've got no one like him, so it's a big blow.
Just want to ask you lastly a couple of questions on Manchester City. They are a few points back behind Liverpool at the top, but they do have a game in hand. Are they still the team to beat?
Yeah, I think they are. I think they're the team to beat. I think for obvious reasons, really. Their record in recent seasons has been incredible, and I think the last few seasons, they've sort of been in a similar pattern, really, where they've just timed their run. And then the second half of the season, they've been very, very difficult to play against once they have that momentum and that target to go for. So I think they've got the best manager in the world. Their style of play is very, very difficult to combat. So we have a lot of different challenges this weekend, but I believe that we can really compete in this game, and I think we've prepared well, so hopefully that reflects on what we do.
And you've already met at St James's Park this season in the League Cup in September. Now both teams made a lot of changes that night. What, if anything, can you take from that experience, because you came out on top and got a brilliant result?
Yeah, I think that the two games against them this year have been very interesting tactically. I think you learn a lot from every game that you play against teams like Manchester City and Liverpool. I think it was a tight game at the Etihad. I thought we were in the game. There's certain things we were frustrated with. The Carabao Cup game, I think, was a very different game. They were different, we were different, but still we delivered what we wanted to do on a very high level.
Thanks.
No problem. Hi Eddie. What is the nature of Joe Linton's injury?
He's got a problem with his tendon in his quad. Without going too detailed, it's a very difficult place to get an injury. Hence the time scale that he's going to be out. So he's very disappointed. He's very, he wants to play. He wants to do well. So, we've had to do a job of trying to pick Joe up, really.
You must be fed up talking about injuries. And especially for someone like Joe Linton, it feels like his season has kind of been stop-start throughout.
Yeah, very much so. I think that we haven't wanted to focus on the injury situation because it's really only negative. There's not much good to be had from talking about it consistently or highlighting it. Joey's injury again is another freak one, really, where he's off balance trying to switch a play, gets pushed in the back and his leg goes at an awkward angle and then ends up with an injury. But unfortunately for us, any injury we've picked up this year hasn't been a sort of 1 or 2 week injury. Everything's been six to 8 weeks at a time when we can't afford it. We're really stretched in the attacking areas, midfield areas, and we have been for a long time, so it's inhibited our ability to rest players and also change the flow of games by bringing players on that can make a difference. So it's been difficult.